Hi, and welcome to the business of being a virtual assistant. I'm your virtual coworker, Tiffany Parson, and your host. You're listening to episode number 144. Now, I am sitting at my dining room table today. I got the topic for the podcast and did not want to move. I just wanted to go ahead and hit record because of the very thing that I want to talk to you about. So today's topic is pretty much about 5 mistakes that we make. And I am the first one to raise my hand and say I am guilty of this. And this is something that I am conscious of and working on. So I hope this helps you. Are you making these, I don't want to call them mistakes. What are we going to call them? Not mistakes. I'll think of another word by the end of the episode. Let's just jump in. Okay, number 1, the first one, and they're not in any particular order, but this one, you just saw me demonstrate it. Number 1, overthinking. You're overthinking it, just like I'm overthinking what to title this episode. Is it mistakes? Is it don't do's? Is it mishaps? What do we call it? We are overthinking. So you're just on the edge. You haven't started your virtual assistant business yet. You're thinking it through. You're overthinking. Have you written down all the research that you found in a journal book or notebook or in your phone or somewhere, and you've written down everything, and to the point where you don't even know what's what because it's not organized, it's not in any order? But guess what? You waste time and decide, oh, I need to go back and reorganize everything that I learned online or everything that I researched to figure out if that is the right thing to do. So are you overthinking it? Are you scrambling through your book? And you're just at a loss. You don't know what to do. It's because you're overthinking it. And I'm gonna tell you something funny. I totally lost, there it is. Page on my notes. This is what overthinking does. It stalls. It causes you to procrastinate. It keeps things from progressing and gets you stuck. Nothing wrong with thinking things through. Nothing wrong with being analytical. That's me. But overthinking it. How do you even know that you are overthinking? You keep having the same thought over and over and over again. And one thing you don't know is what you don't know. If you don't actually put some action behind that thinking, you don't know if it will work. There are plenty of things that people try that don't work, but guess what? So what? Now they are aware. Now you come back, now you have knowledge. Okay, that didn't work. I need to figure out a better way to do this. What can I do better? Sometimes it's because we didn't start soon enough in the plan. For example, let's say you've already started your virtual assistant business. You've already got it going and you're working with clients, but you need more. Did you start late in the marketing, or have you not started at all? Our action gives us clues as to what we need to do better. But if we're overthinking, we're not putting forth any action. Number 2, can you guess what number 2 is? And it's on the list, and I totally didn't plan this. Thank you, Lord. Number 2, inaction. Overthinking bleeds into inaction. It causes us not to move. It causes us not to move. When I lost my place, I'm talking about overthinking, and then I can't move forward to the next thing because I don't know where my spot is, so I have to keep flipping. That's what overthinking, how overthinking spills into inaction. We don't act. How many of you are trying to play it out in your head, your client's response, a prospective client? You've responded to a job posting, or you've sent an email or a message to someone, or you've responded in some way, but you haven't hit send. It's just in draft, or it's just somewhere written down, and you have not gotten it to the other person yet because you're trying to play out, what are they going to say? What are they going to do? What's their response going to be? And I'm applying this to your virtual assistant business, but this applies to everything in life as well. Go ahead and hit send. Do what you need to do. What is the action you need to take? Are you sitting on blog posts? Are you sitting on a social media post? What is it that you're sitting on because you're afraid someone else is going to criticize it? You're afraid that it's not good enough. Who decides what's good enough for us? Who decides that? Who decides what's good enough? And if you think, oh, well, the market decides. If I put something out there and nobody wants it, they've decided it's not good enough. No, it's not because it's not good enough. It could be because of a number of things. Maybe it's not something that they need right now. Maybe it's not within their budget. And that's fine. But guess what? There's another group. So you got to figure out how to get to the right people. And because you have put forth some action, now you can figure out, okay, what do I need to do next to make it better, to actually get a better response? What do I need to do? Number 3, criticizing. Not other people's criticism, but how we criticize ourselves. How bad do you criticize yourself? Does your Facebook profile have a picture of you or something else or someone else? Is that because you're over criticizing how you look? Are you afraid of video because you're uncomfortable with the camera, or because of you don't like how you look on camera? Or you don't want to do audio because you don't like how you sound? We criticize ourselves harder than anybody else because we know ourselves. We're with ourselves each and every day. Other people are not. So they don't see the little, tiny mole on your face that you don't really like. They don't see that. They don't even know to look at it. All the little things that we nitpick about, other people don't even know to look for that because they don't know it's there. You do. Stop over criticizing yourself. Writing. Have you been wanting to write? Maybe offer that as a service. Provide writing or editing, create content for social media, but you criticize yourself so bad. You've told yourself, I'm not good with grammar. I'm not good with putting sentences together. I'm not good with my words. Are you over criticizing yourself? Is that a truth, or is that a criticism, a negative criticism of yourself? Number 4, comparing. Sometimes we're criticizing ourselves because we're comparing ourselves to someone else. So you're watching this, you want to start a virtual assistant business, but you're afraid to because you're comparing yourself to someone else. I heard a really good quote, and I don't know where it originated, but it says something like, don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. So it's all like our lives are a movie. It says something to this effect in the quote. But this is the gist of it. All of our lives, we're all living out our own personal movies. And if I don't meet you until the 4th scene of your life, and I'm in the 1st scene of mine, but you're in the 4th, which means you're ahead, I'm here, I can't compare myself to your 4th scene because you've had more time. You've had, more experiences. You've gotten more knowledge. You've put forth more action. So you've had more learning opportunities than I had because I'm just getting started. What I need to do is rewind and go back to your 1st scene and see what that looked like. Because my guess is that your 1st scene looks something like my 1st scene. Rough. Everybody's 1st scene looks rough. We all start at 0. Talk about growing a social media platform. Everybody starts at 0. 0 likes. 0 follows. 0 people on your email list. 0 clients. We all start there. So we got to stop comparing ourselves and just put your stuff out there. Put it out there without fear, without the overthinking, without inaction. We want to act without the criticism. So don't compare yourself. If you have not started yet, don't compare yourself to me. I'm year 10. If you haven't even started, it's just a thought. You stumbled upon this podcast and you're just now finding me. When I first started, I rewind all the way back to 2008, and I didn't know what I didn't know. I learned along the way by bumping my head, by trying different things, but always being myself. Because if I'm somebody else, then I might forget what role I was playing. Always being myself. And the last one, waiting for the right time. And I'm looking at my notes on the table here. Waiting for the right time. So let's talk about the right time. Is there a right time? Is there a right time to do anything in life? Yes, everything has an order, but when it's up to us to make the decision, how do we decide what's the right time? Is there a right time to move? Is there a right time to get a new job? Is there a right time to seek new clients? Is there a right time to end a contract with a client? Is there a right time to change your rates? Is there a right time to start your business in the first place? Is there a right time to switch gears? What's the right time? It's subjective, right? The right time is going to vary for all of us. But if we go back to the comparing and you're looking at somebody else and you're comparing yourself based on what they're doing, it might be the right time for them, but not for you, and vice versa. Put it like this. If it's been 6 months, 4 months, 3 months, there's only so much research that can be done about being a virtual assistant. Yes, there are certifications, but it's not required. Nobody's ever asked me for my certification. In fact, nobody's ever asked me to see my college diploma or if I have one at all. Nobody's ever asked. In fact, nobody's ever asked if I have a high school diploma. So right time is not based on certification for us in getting started with your virtual assistant business. Right time is not even based on whether you understand everything. There's no such thing as understanding everything. 5 years from now, there's going to be something that you provide to clients or your company provides that does not exist today because of how technology works. Social media wasn't a thing back in 2008. I can remember when it became a thing for business owners, when Twitter became a thing. Can you remember when Instagram became a thing? Can you remember when LinkedIn and Pinterest, when they all became a thing? But if we rewind the clock back and think about years ago, they were not a thing. Video wasn't even a thing. Video wasn't a thing. We weren't even thinking about it. We were watching TV. We weren't thinking about Netflix or Hulu or Roku or Amazon Fire and whatever else is out there for us that's not cable television. It didn't exist. So the right time, you've been researching, you've researched up to here. There's no more you can find. Start with something you already know and provide that as your service. And everybody knows something. Everybody. If you're watching this or listening to this and you're thinking, I don't know, I don't have anything, Tiffany. I don't have anything to offer. Email me, Tiffany@tiffanyparson.com. Email me, please. And in the email you send me and you tell me you don't have anything to offer, but you want to start a virtual assistant business, in that email, tell me what you do in your current job. Not just your job title. What do you do? I'll give you an example. Years ago, I was a reimbursement counselor. And you're probably like, what the heck is that? Yeah, I was too. So let me tell you what it is. Let me give you the breakdown. It's a glorified customer service representative for, I just went blank, for drug companies. That's what it was. Help people get prescriptions they couldn't afford. So that might include checking insurance benefits. It definitely included talking to people on the phone. It included answering questions. It included answering questions via email, mostly through phone. It included, I used to do the phone schedule for our team. So you had to do like a little chart and figure out when everybody was on vacation or out sick or taking breaks and adjust the phone schedule. We rotated that every week. I think that was probably my favorite part of the whole job was doing the phone schedule because it was not the actual healthcare work. What else was a part of that job? So Excel was a part of that. We calculated prescriptions. So a little math was in there. We had to write letters, write emails. So when you're telling me, you're thinking, Tiffany, there's nothing I can provide, so I need to learn some more. It's not the right time for me to start because I don't have the skills yet. Start with what you have. And if you're still like, I have no idea, email me, Tiffany@tiffanyparson.com. and tell me what you're doing in your current job. If you email me and you say, Tiffany, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Well, what does that mean? What all do you do? Because you're not just staying in the house and the kids running all over the place. No. You got to be really organized. You got to coordinate schedules. Maybe you're doing the family budget. You got to plan meals. You're doing a whole lot of stuff that you don't realize you're doing. We all have something that we can provide that someone else is willing to pay for. So I challenge you to figure out what that is. Figure out what that is and start. Don't let these 5 things get in your way. The 5 things that get in your way and hold you back from getting started. Overthinking, inaction, criticizing, comparing, and waiting for the right time. Now, it is the right time to make sure that you're on my VIP list. If you are not, be sure to text 345-345, the words VA START. VA for virtual assistant START, all meshed together. VA START to 345-345. And that's, I learned, if you're in the United States. If you're not, you're in Canada, you're in the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, wherever you are, that's not the USA, go to tiffanyparson.com and click on training and add yourself to that list. You'll get access to my 15 known secrets for getting started as a virtual assistant. You'll also get an email every time a new podcast episode goes out. You'll get regular invites to free webinars with me. You will also learn more about the Virtual Assistant Business Owner Circle. That is an inner circle membership. That is a monthly membership that I have every single month. We're learning new skills. This month, we're talking about webinar support, how to offer that as a service to clients. We also have a bonus workshop. I talked about this a little in the last podcast, the LinkedIn Takeover Workshop. It is a live workshop we're doing actually this Saturday. I'm very excited about that. Part 1 is this month. We're going to do part 2 next month. That workshop, for anybody that jumps in the inner circle this month, in the Virtual Assistant Business Owner Circle this month, February, will get access to the workshop. And eventually, that workshop, I'm going to pluck it out of the membership. So like if you join in March, you won't see it. But it will eventually be its own standalone course. But right now, you get it at a very low rate. In fact, bonus. Because there's no additional charge for it. You just pay for your membership. So anyway, go to tiffanyparson.com, click on membership to learn more about that. Thank you so much. You've made it this far in the podcast. I thank you so much for listening and watching. You have a wonderful and fabulous day.